Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Schengen World Newspaper Headlines. Today is 13th September 2001, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria. My name is Hawa Yusuf. Now, the headlines. Somalia's long-delayed election will proceed as planned, Prime Minister Mohamed Hussein Robo told visiting UN diplomats on Sunday, even as a damaging feud between him and the country's president sparked fresh fears for the troubled Horn of Africa nation. Pope Francis met Hungary's anti-migration Prime Minister Viktor Orban on Sunday before calling on pilgrims to be open and considerate at an open-air mass in Budapest. China handed over to Cambodia $150 million stadium in Phnom Penh, with officials saying Sunday it is the result of Beijing's biggest ever infrastructure grant to the country. Afghan women will be allowed to attend university as long as they study separately from men, the Taliban's new higher education minister said Sunday. Britain's Prince Andrew has been served legal papers in the U.S. lawsuit brought by a woman who says he sexually abused her when she was a teenager, a court filing showed Friday. While leaders sent messages of solidarity Saturday on the 20th anniversary of 9/11, saying the attackers had failed to destroy Western values. America marks the 20th anniversary of 9/11 on Saturday with solemn ceremonies, given added poignancy by the recent withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan and return to power of the Taliban. North Macedonia's health minister on Friday offered his resignation after an explosion and a fire ripped through a hospital treating coronavirus patients, killing 14 people. North Macedonia is a country in Southeast Europe. France has granted citizenship to over 12,000 foreign-born health workers, security guards, checkout assistants, and other frontline workers, to thank them for their services during the COVID crisis, the government said Thursday. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen on Thursday urged countries in the G7 group of richest nations to quickly implement a global tax reform aimed at the carbon tax avoidance. European Union ambassadors on Wednesday agreed to remove 6 countries, including Japan, from the bloc's COVID-safe travel list, meaning tourists entering could face restrictions, diplomats said. German Chancellor Angela Merkel on Wednesday described herself as a feminist, saying her position on equality between men and women had developed over the years. In Nigeria, the police in Lagos have identified and arrested an officer who fired the shot that killed an 18-year-old female during a raid in the Ijeshatedo area of Lagos State. Gunmen have killed a pastor of the Evangelical Church of West Africa, Reverend Silas Ali, in Zango, Kataf local government area of Kaduna State. Operatives of the Ondo State Security Network Agency, Amotekun Corps, have rescued the 3 remaining victims out of the 12 that were kidnapped by gunmen along the Ifira Akoko Idoni Road. A church building has collapsed in Taraba State, killing 2 persons and injuring many worshippers. The church, Holy Ghost Church, is located in Chanchanji Community, Takum local government area of the state. A United States court in the Northern District of Oklamoha on Friday sentenced a Nigerian Afeez Adebara to 4 years in prison. Alright, now I move you back to the studio in Europe. Thank you very much.
Good morning, viewers all over the world. Yes, thank you very much, Hawa Yusuf from Abuja, Nigeria. Hawa Yusuf stands in as our news broadcaster from Africa. You're welcome again to News Roundup. My name is Mark Godwin Iwejuwan, and we are here on our Schengen Story News Roundup. Schengen Story News Roundup is our program that details and gives up updates on news occurrences around the world. Schengen Story News Roundup is a discussional platform. We look into issues that matters to us. So joining me as usual are my colleagues and coordinators from different parts of Europe. Here with me is Godson Mazi Azu from Peterborough, UK. Godson Mazi Azu, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, my very handsome-looking gentleman, great media exponent, Mr. Mark Godwin Iwejuwan, the editor-in-chief of Schengen News Magazine in Italy and around Europe. It's my great pleasure joining you this morning all the way here in Peterborough, the United Kingdom, the east of England in the UK. It's my pleasure.
You're welcome. How is the weather today in the Queensland? How is the weather there?
Well, the weather is. I look out my window, I can see lovely sunshine, very symbolic cloud, notifying you what UK is all about. You can predict the weather, such as you can predict the actions of a British man. And so it's a lovely place at the moment, and we call it Bayliza. Bayliza means is the mother's land. So we are fine and cool and rolling on at Bayliza at the moment.
Rolling on. Also with us is our good coordinator and friend from Paris, France, Chuma Ebomuche. Chuma, you are welcome. Our coordinator from France. Chuma, are you there? You're welcome.
Yeah.
Schengen Story News Roundup, 13th of September 2021. How are you, Chuma? How was the weekend?
I am all right, Chief Editor. It's a pleasure being on board again today, seeing your face once more as it shines.
Good.
I thank you all for all this great opportunity for us to be here again to do justice to what we normally do.
What we normally do, and we do it so well. We give news around Europe. We do what most Africans don't do, and that's giving precise, informative information to our people. What we have around is what you call kitchen discussion in other places, but this is official, this is international, and hopefully we will take it beyond. So we're discussing young men, and a lot of things have happened. A lot of things happened during the week. We first of all put our satellite in Nigeria, where our president, Muhammad Buhari, visited a state in midst of the very tight security conditions, in the midst of the tension also. The president took a bold step to visit the core state of what you call the IPOB quarters. So how do you see this? Can you guys bring us up to date? Godson Azu, what's happening there? We see that whole thing. How do you see the visit to Imo State? Go ahead, Godson.
Yeah, thank you very much, my good friend, Mr. Mark, for this wonderful opportunity to share my humble view and opinions, so to say, with regards to the visit of Mr. President over the last couple of days ago to Imo State. This is the second time in 6 years the president has paid a visit to the eastern part of Nigeria. If I'm not mistaken, I think the last one he visited was in Ebonyi State, obviously some 4 or 5 years ago or so. And this visit I know and I've heard so many commentators and analysts referring this visit as a historic or symbolic visit. I don't see it in any form or shape to be a historic nor a symbolic visit of Mr. President to a state in the southeast.
That's Boo Boo's vehicle.
In his time
Can someone
as
explain that to
President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is the constitutional responsibility of the president of a country to earmark specific periods or time scales within every year of his governance to pay visits, courtesy visits, official visits, and even uninformed visits to every part of the nation, either it be a state or a region, for specific national reasons, either for national security reasons or for national project inspection or consolidation in such areas. And so when a president visits a particular state or region, it shouldn't be seen as a historic or a symbolic or a ceremonious opportunity, but it should be seen as one of the official assignments, one of the official duties that the president has to undertake and carry out in his capacity as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the president of the republic. And so for me, I see it as one of the duties the president has to honor, has to do. And for the likes of Governor Hope Uzodinma to go cap in hand to beg the president to come to Imo State, which from my own point of view, I see it as a political machinery. I see it as an act of politicalization of the job of the president, in order to kind of emotionally or psychologically derail the context of the Igbo drive for national inclusion, for its acceptance into the Nigerian commune as a union, as a member of that union. And by the way, the essence of the president visiting Imo State, for my own observation, is not only about him coming to commission some frivolous state projects, but it's for him to be used to influence the opinion or the views of those whom we regard as Igbo leaders or Igbo contemporary influencers in national issues. And unfortunately, many people, unlike myself, were highly disappointed with the kind of presence of certain Igbo leaders at this occasion. Because when a leader build a discontent with a specific nation state group, there is need to have a reconciliatory process before his actual entrance into such a territorial environment, in order to appease the mind of those people.
Thank you very much. That's a good one. Let's hear from France what his outlook are on this issue. France, how do you see what is going on there?
Well, when we look at things the way it's going, the visit of the president to Imo State, first, we all know very well that whoever that is a leader of an organization must always pay a working visit to all areas where he's working. So he came to check on Imo State, but he was invited by the so-called governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma. But at the same time, if we take a closer look at what is happening there, there's a political game going on in that place, which we
We can't hear you again, Chuma. We lost a signal. You switched off. Hello?
Can you get me?
Yes.
Okay.
For some seconds, we lost you.
Okay. I'm here. Sorry, maybe my hand touched the mute. So I go on. Let me continue from where I stopped. So like I said before, when a president is bound to go on a working visit and a working tour, just like the same way the governor, the president of my country here does, he goes to every region to go and see how the people who are ruling those areas, that are in charge of those areas, how they are doing, if they are following what they are supposed to do. Then Buhari coming to Imo State is still the same thing, coming to see. We found out that he was invited. He was invited when he's supposed to take his own initiative and say, I am coming today to come up and see what you're doing. Because as a governor, you ought to be up and doing and be doing something based on what you are brought in to do, is to bring in development, bring in governance to the grassroots. Here we saw the president when he came. From the video, we can actually see how it played out. When I was a kid and in the olden days or earlier days, even the past administrations or whatever, when a president comes to a state, there are people, troop out to go and welcome the president, flagging, and everything. But on this case, we saw the streets were empty, was ghost town. He came to visit a ghost town. And it's very funny. And somehow sends a very big signal that we ought to understand that, and we ought to read meanings into them and find out whether what we are seeing is real or not. Why did the president come to visit a particular sector of the nation, and there are no people who are there to come and welcome him? The citizens prefer to sleep than coming out. Why was that? And the way the president came, his dress code, the projects he came to commission, what are they? Is a very funny something that the president came to a state just to come up and commission drainage. Here and other places we see kilometers of roads built, solid roads and other things. I want to ask a question. If a governor or a local government leader or whatever cannot provide the basic amenities to his people, why are they on seat? We are not there to please anybody, neither are we there for any frivolities. We should really understand that the people we are leading or we are representing need certain things, and we need to provide those things for them. If you take a closer look, you will see that it looks like he was being cajoled to do some things, and he's in a hurry. What message and what news or what is the governor telling the world? What has he achieved? Where are those things he has achieved? Let us see them. Let us know what he has done. I love positive actions. If you do well, I will praise you. If you are not there, we will tell you what you are, where you have gone wrong. That is why we have human lives. It is it's out of varieties that we ought to see. We choose from it. Life is full of varieties. If you are not doing well, people must be there for you.
Life is full of variety. Yes, one interesting part of the whole thing was his dress code. I want you guys to tell me, I know the dress code, the Igbo dress called Ishagu. It has been, is a traditional dress of the Igbo people. And it's also it's not an ordinary dress. Ishagu is worn on special occasion, not anyhow, because it symbolizes the Igbo tribe of Southeast Nigeria. Now, our president was putting on the Ishagu. He's not an Igbo man. He was putting on the Ishagu, but he looked funny putting it on because it looks as if it was not properly sewn. Mazi Azu, what is this buzz on his dress code? The way the Ishagu and the trouser was designed.
Can you look at that?
Made it look like a mockery, as if he turned our Ishagu to something else. What will you say about this, Azu? The dress code?
Well, like I said earlier on in my early commentary, I made it clear that this is kind of a political packaged visit to kind of impress Mr. President, and also to make the Igbo people feel that Mr. President has every right to be in any part of the Southeast at his will. Nobody is going to say no, but the way you come determines how the people appreciate and accept your presence. You can see that the dress code, looking at the dress itself, you will understand that it was a hurriedly packaged dress. It's like the president himself had an 11th hour decision an 11th hour decision about coming to Imo State. You could also read from his message that it was like Hope Uzodinma and the cronies kind of persuaded him. They did everything to convince him to make sure he comes. And by the time he said he's coming, it was very late to get him a proper Igbo dress to wear. So I think overnight, in less than 30 minutes, they got one mechanic tailor or vulcanizer tailor to patch the uniforms together, because it's only a vulcanizer that can patch anything patchable. Vulcanizer tailor to patch the Igbo dress for him, so that by the time they do the quick delivery of that cloth, I don't know where the man, I thought they said the man, they later went and arrested his father or his mother. I don't know, maybe it's a joke, but I wish they arrested the man himself for presenting the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the home of fashion, the country of fashion. Anything you talk about fashion is in Nigeria, and most especially the Igbo people like fashion. For that man that has shown Mr. President's trouser to look like a bongo, those trousers that were worn by traders in the 1950s and 60s in Onitsha and Abatan Hall, for him in the 21st century, that man need to be reprimanded. He need to be given, if it was in Saudi Arabia, they give him 36 cane of lashes at his buttocks for sewing a trouser that looks 1.5 inch different from the one that Mr. President. Unfortunately, I don't know, but I think the speed at which the package was done affected the delivery of the fashion makeup of Mr. President. And
thank you very much.
On behalf of Ndi Igbo, I would like to say, Mr. President, accept our apologies.
Accept our apologies.
It's the hope of purpose of them hold him responsible for giving you 1.5 long length trousers.
Yes. That's a good one. Chuma, apart from the dress code, also it looks as if some of the projects that the president came to commission were half done. They were halfway done, and they were not. He even said it in the speech. So, what do you say? Hope just use this as a PR stunt to make the people see that he is connected to the federal, to the center of power. What do you say about that, Chuma?
Actually, to me, this is a political visit, and then The governor was trying to politicize the whole thing. You don't bring somebody to come up and commission something that is not there. Just like if we look at the whole thing, he went to commission let's say gutter. We call it gutter, but they are saying it's a drainage. Owerri was well planned, and it was a finger hut that planned Owerri. Ndubisi Kanu brought them in. Mbakwe executed the whole thing. Those earlier days when we were young, when they were constructing Owerri, if you move from the government junction, that's the library junction there, there's a big drainage there that distributes water. The drainage, they go to Otamini, go to More. We used to walk through those drainage and run to different sides of Owerri. You come out at another place when they were building all this, and that was why when it rains, these things it gets drained up immediately. So when Achiku Denwa came back, because he worked with MCC, he brought back MCC and other companies to come up and start correcting those things. And he left, the population of Imo State continued to grow. So we had other things. So Hope came in now and he's building another drainage. I don't know the people that helped him do the real calculations. We are afraid if these things are not well done, Owerri will start sinking. Owerri is a terrible land, but it's going to start sinking.
Thank you very much. Owerri will start sinking. Imo is an integral part of the east of Nigeria, and we don't play with Imo State. So let he that is at the head make sure things are done properly. This is our voice from Europe, Nigerians in Europe. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We go further to the VAT issue. The VAT issue in Nigeria. We saw a situation where governors and people are talking. Now also that brought up a small round of verbal discussion, verbal attack on two governors. Let's see this video and
has good heart. Like President Buhari for the good of this country. We need God's own.
Sorry, I want to apologize for that. I think my network is having issues. Our network is having issues here. So, but it's like it's
anointing our anointed president for the interests and unity of this country.
I saw a governor saying that he prays Nigeria against another president like Buhari. Hey. I said, come. What has gone wrong with? I mean. You mean there shouldn't be psychiatric check on that governor? You see, psychophancy. And he knows that president knows that you are telling lies. He knows. The president knows that he was telling
Yes. Gentlemen, you can see what is going on there. Maziazu, what is happening? Bring us to date. What is happening there? Maziazu.
Yeah, thank you very much. Obviously, in a democracy where you cannot have such divisive or divided opinions in terms of public views and individual opinions on the way of governance, it makes democracy very dull and docile in terms of its fury and satires of governance. And obviously, some of us may be disappointed in the way some of the issues are being presented, and some may be happy because many people are using Buhari as a political tool to give themselves some political leverages in terms of influencing the views and the understanding of the ordinary citizens in their domain, and which is obviously not a true fact. It is better that people say the honest truth and bear the pains and the consequences of it, rather than trying to paint the truth in different colors just to make yourself look very as highly or well accepted by the principal. What Governor Dave Umai said is a personal view. He has a right to say that personal view, as long as he does not say it is the total or complete view of the Igbo people or the people in his state about the president. He has a right to look for a governor that is most likely like the present one we have to rule Nigeria. And the people could rise up and say, we don't want, or we want. And obviously, many people would judge the outcome of this government by its total output at the end of the tenure of office of the present president of Nigeria today. Today, in the last 6 years, if Governor Mai is reading the news trends, both international and local, he will be able to engage with those who are trending those international and local news on the state of Nigerian economy and the state of Nigerian security, and be able to make a very honest, rational decision before he makes a public speech about the condition of the country today and the condition of the country in the last 7 years before now, and be able to give a clear judgment on it. Because if Nigeria today is regarded as the capital of poverty, the world poverty capital by international reputable organizations, then something needs to be done to justify or calendar. If Nigeria today used to have an economic growth of about 5 to 7%, and today Nigeria is experiencing a 0.28 economic growth, then something needs to be asked. Why are we going down rather than going up? And if you look at the way people judge the achievement of Mr. President, obviously one achievement I know that I can always quantify and I can always appreciate what the president has done is the ability of the president to listen to some of his advisors in sustaining ongoing national projects, such as the completion of some of the railway lines.
What will you say about this VAT dialogue that is going on? VAT let's explain the VAT. VAT is the value added tax that is being taken in Nigeria. And there is an issue now. Some governors are on the side that, go ahead, you are going to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the VAT issue is a complicated, economic policy issue in Nigeria. And because we have a fragile and a fragmented central system of governance, some of the decisions and actions of the economic policy projections are not handled with a cohesive manner in terms of carrying the other units of governments together in accordance to the constitution, and ensuring that such policy approach trickles down to every aspect of the system in an equitable process. Because, like, for instance, you cannot, Governor Wike make it clear, the federal government has a right to collect VAT, but there's some certain part of the VAT which also has to go to the states that produce most of the economic output. So you cannot collect the whole VAT and then give money lesser than expected to some states who produces the highest amount of the VAT that the federal government is collecting. And also, you cannot give more VAT to states that are producing nothing, and also restricting the productivity of the national collectiveness of the economy in the country. So, like Mike said, you cannot deny people from drinking beer in your state or selling beer in your state. And then yet, when VAT is collected in the name of beer manufacturing companies, the Nigerian breweries, the Guinness breweries, and also on and so forth, and then you come and take part of the share, but you don't want people to sell the beer in your state. You don't want them to drink the beer in your state. So how does that sound equitable to those who their state generate about 20 to 30 billion naira of all beer sold in Nigeria, such as Lagos, such as Rivers himself, such as Anambra, and a few other states that amount to the highest number of beer sold in Nigeria, and much of the VAT comes from there, or even the commercial activities. Most of the commercial activities.
Let's hear from France. France, what will you say to this VAT issue? And because all this matters to the economic progress. And when you have a situation where they are not in the same viewpoint, it's a problem. So what is your view on this issue in Nigeria?
Well, first of all, we say, what is VAT? VAT is value-added tax. Whatever you buy, whatever you consume, or whatever you get from anywhere in the market, there's a tax in it. And those taxes are used either to better for the government to work and other things. But I must put it very clear. You cannot expect Paul to pay tax on what he's eating, and you use that, instead of you to use that to help Paul to better his life or his environment, you use it to go and help Peter. You don't rob Peter to pay Paul. You don't rob Paul to pay Peter. The VAT that we are talking about, every state is supposed to collect their own VAT and give a certain percentage to the president, to the presidency, or to the central government. If we are really operating a federal system of government, in America, it's not the federal government, the federal government that goes to the states to go and collect taxes, this VAT. It is structured in a way, just like here in France, it's structured in a way that whatever you do, it goes to the region where you are, and then they give out a percentage to the federal houses. So as for what is going on in Nigeria now, trying to increase the VAT from 35% to 50%, this is drilling a hole to fill a hole. They say they want to use it to pay up the 30,000 minimum wage salary. I mean, it's a laughable project. Why should a senator be eating such millions of naira as salary allowances and whatever, and the civil servants that are just earning only mere 30,000 cannot be paid? You borrow money to pay senators, but for those who work for those things they are working for, they don't even get that. Cut the salary of all political office holders. Cut their salaries. Get the money from there, pay the workers. Let us understand how these things are going. My people, we are all human beings. When the tax that is gotten from River State is being used to help somebody in Kaduna, last time we saw where the Yambanga or the Islamic law, these things that breaking beer, crates, over 6,000 something, 6,200 something crates of beer they were destroying because their religion does not support that.
Thank you very much.
From there goes to them.
Their religion does not support that. It's a very interesting situation going on there. So now we've gone to Nigeria, and we speak on Nigerian issues because it's our interests as our homeland. Now we're coming back to Europe, and a lot of things are happening also in Europe. Chuma, from your France, there is a video that is making round on the social media. We want you to add a voice to this so that we can
la vidéo, c'est que vous êtes en train de faire avec madame. Non, mais non, moi, après, je vais faire la télé. Et s'il y a quelque chose qui se passe avec votre femme. On est là, nous, on n'est pas là contre vous. Non, mais regarde ce que vous êtes en train de faire. C'est bon, regardez, votre femme, on a là. Laisse-moi tranquille. Laisse-moi tranquille. Donc pourquoi vous faites ça? Pourquoi vous faites ça? Pourquoi vous faites ça? Pourquoi vous faites ça? Pourquoi? Je suis d'accord avec vous, parce que mission est pas normale. Je suis d'accord, monsieur, je suis clairement d'accord.
Now, for our viewers in Africa that might not understand situations of things in Europe, this is something that we see play out in most parts of Europe. Most times with the Africans, children are forcefully taken from their parents because they feel the parents are not capable of taking care of the child, and in most cases they assume, it is on assumption. Also here in Europe, in secondary, primary, and in their schools, they tell children to report whatever offense, whatever it is the parents do to them at home. So we find a situation where even when a parent flogs or disciplines a child, the child will go back to school and report and tell the teachers, I was flogged for this. And it is an offense here in Europe. You don't spank a child, you don't beat a child, you don't discipline a child. This is their mentality. So we are seeing this one now in France. And the story we are getting is that there is a family of 6, and one of the child reported to the school that the mother is not taking care of them. So the police has come to forcefully take all the other children away from the family. Chuma, what will you say? This is what we see here. It's happening all around Europe, Italy, France, Germany, Spain, Greece, Malta, everywhere. What will you say about this, Chuma?
Well, this is a very difficult situation. We look at this, it's a two-edged sword, actually. I once had somebody say that the worst inhumanity or worst injustice to a child is to deny that child of the parental rights. Yes, but we have to understand something. Here we are coming from two different cultures. The Africans, we are used to reprimanding kids. When you go wrong, we correct you. And then we were also told that you beat a child with a right hand and you bring him closer with the left hand to correct our kids. But the Western world are saying that you don't beat a child, allow them to go, carry on with the way they are going on. Here now we are seeing the French government coming over. There's a law that has been put in place. If you go through the codes and the laws of this country, it says if you're not able to take care of your children, the government will take them away because their children are entitled to their rights, and then they have to get the basics of life. They have to get education, they have to get health, they have to get shelter, they have to get food. These are the things that are supposed to be done. But I believe these things are also done through judicial means. You have to go to court to get these things done. And the people have to tell you the way it is going. Here we can see the way they are forcing the woman to, get the children all out. We are still looking at the news as it develops. We really want to find out where it goes. We have what is called here in France, which I know is everywhere in Europe, there's social workers who go around, helping people, trying to find out how things go. In Africa, somebody can have up to 5, 6, 7 children. Like us, we were 12. 8 survived. And I have so many of them there. Also, my kids are all there. So you find out that in Europe, people want to have...
Let's hear from UK if it's the same thing as Western Europe. Maziazu, do Africans go through this same situation where children are forcefully taken off from parents because of very slight issues? What is it? How does it happen? How does it play out in your corner?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's similar to what is happening in Europe. Same issues occurs here in the UK. Children have a protective law that protects the way children are being taken care of, both by the parents and also by those who are entitled to the duty of care of children, whether they be social carers or whether they be teachers at school or nannies that look after kids when the parents have all gone to work. So under the UK Child Protection Act of 2000 and I think it's 1993 or so, which has amended over the years. I think there is a new one now, the Child's Act of 2017, which gives the right to children on how they are being treated or maltreated, or how they're being discriminated at home, or how the children could see themselves being properly taken care of by their parents. And so you have similar challenges here, where sometimes from the school's point of reaction, a child comes to school looking grumbly, looking unkept, looking very haggard, looking worried, having a kind of a psychological look and or emotionally driven presentation. The teacher takes the next action by trying to find out what has gone wrong with the child. And once the child is not able or is able to express his or herself to the teacher reports the case to the social worker officer within the school, who then takes up the action. And sometimes some of these divide relationship between children and parents at home are instigated by some of their school teachers, and sometimes are instigated by the social care worker, who is trying to find out the emotional challenges of the child or the psychological problems of the child, and then they get the child to pronounce or make a contradictory statement or a conflicting or inciting statement about their parents. Probably if their parents have been smacking them for not doing something right, they go and tell the social worker that my mom, my dad have been slapping me all day. If I don't do this, they slap me. If I do this wrong, they hit me with something. And then it becomes an issue of abuse. And once it gets to this point, and sometimes, like Chuma said, there is need for this process to go through some process of litigations, where it can be proven that actually the child is not instigating issues against the parents. But sometimes most of these social processes does not follow some of these processes. They just take a kind of unilateral actions by going straight to the home, demanding for the child to be taken away from the parents, and then taking care of these children themselves. And the problem here is that the law also make it clear that if social workers or social body takes a child or children away from their parents, The child's responsibility and conditions must be well taken care of by the social worker, because at the end of the day, if the child becomes or experiences more abuse, more discrimination at the hands of the social care worker, then
That's a
who
problem.
else takes the responsibility from that point of view?
Okay. Maybe we need to, as our program goes on, get one of these social workers, European or African, whoever they may be, to come and give us a view on this situation that normally happens most times to Africans only. Most times, in most cases, it is targeted to the Black community in Europe. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We are moving forward. We have very short time left. There's this situation going on also back to Nigeria again, where the Association of Cattle Rearers, we'll call Meiti Allah. We all know Meiti Allah, and we know the story behind what is going on, the ranching, the open grazing, and all that discourse. Now, Meiti Allah has done something that's like a very witty arrangement. They picked one of our diaspora Nigerian lady to become a spokesperson for their association. And that person also is not from the north. It's not from the north of Nigeria. So it's very witty what they did. It's very intelligent. Now we're looking at that whole situation, and I know you've all seen the video.
Grand ambassadors across the country.
This is Meiti Allah.
Are nationalistic, non-tribalistic, and have the interests of this country at heart. Today we're here. We are decorating our Queen Mother, Amina Temitope Labinjo Ajayi, Mama Diaspora, as a brand Meiti Allah ambassador. She can stand up for journalists to recognize her.
On the power of the Board of Trustees of the Meiti Allah Kautal Hore, today, 6 September 2021, we have branded you as our ambassador in diaspora for you to tell the whole world that the pastoralists are the most people on the African continent. That is why they have created empires across the African continent.
History is about to be made. I thank the Almighty Allah and glorify His name for this historic occasion. I'm overwhelmed, you can all see, with joy and excitement, going by the high caliber of dignity and Muhammad's card gathered here today. Allah Seva. Let me especially thank my eminence, my leader, my dear brother.
Okay, you're seeing it there. I know you've seen it all before. That is the so-called Meiti Allah's brand ambassador for diaspora, and her task is to spread the news that cattle grazing is a great occupation from Africa, and Meiti Allah has come to stay, and nobody will stop their plan of taking cattle around communities, around institutions, people's compound, people's farmyard. Nobody is going to stop that because they are called for this. And this woman, a Yoruba woman that lives in the UK, is going to be spreading the gospel for them. My brothers, how do you see this? Maziazu, this is happening in your face. The information we got is the Temitope is from diaspora, and she's used to, somebody used the word, she likes to get attention. She likes to be relevant when it comes to this. She wants to look, she wants attention. She's an attention seeker. And now she has become the Meiti Allah's spokesperson. So I know you probably don't understand this whole thing, but what will you say in few words? Matiazu, what will you say in few words about this?
What do I have to say? You have just said most of the thing. This is a woman that wants to wants to get into the eyes of the public, wants to have a space of her own, and using Meite Allah to create that space is obviously the ultimate goal. And I personally do not have a good recognition of this lady within the Nigerian community in the UK. Obviously, I am a strong player in the Nigerian community here in the UK. Within the two biggest organizations of the Nigerian communities in the UK here, the Central Association of Nigerians in the UK and the Nigerians in the Diaspora Organization in UK South and North, and every other social engagement. I don't think I have seen much of this lady in the community or in the eyes of the community. And then most of us are waiting to hear what she has to say on behalf of the Meiti Allah in the UK public, in the Nigerian community in the UK. We are hoping to see her at engagements and speaking and protecting the interests of Meiti Allah in the diaspora. We wait for that moment. We wait for that time. We look forward to her appearances. We look forward to her community engagement. We want to see how she can use Meiti Allah to project her self-interest or the collective interest of Katuriaras in Nigeria. But one thing I want her to understand is that if she is a modernist, if she is a woman that lives in an advanced society, if she is a woman that understands that the world has gone far in the 21st century, I want to see how she can convince those of us and many of the Europeans, many of the British people, that cattle rearing is the best in the 21st century, rather than cattle ranching, and then be able to prove it. The best.
Thank you. Maziazu, you're also witnessing this situation. It's funny, in the 20th century, we're talking of taking cows around people's compound and matching people's crops. And they've picked a woman from the so-called Western world to speak on this for them. And they've also done that also to show people that some people reasons with them. Is it not strange, Maziazu? Why do we have to be discussing this in a time when the Westerners are going to space? They are talking of advanced technology. They're talking of advanced lifestyle. And we are talking of primitive things. Tell me, Maziazu, are you there? Go ahead, Maziazu.
Are you referring to me or to Maziazu?
Chuma, sorry. I was saying Chuma.
I can see. Actually, this is a very ugly situation, but it's a laughable one, actually. The woman in question, we know Nigeria is a very unique country and very, very interesting. The woman in question needs recognition, like it's been said. She just wants to be relevant in certain things, but this is not the right way to be relevant. We have Nigeria should have transcended this level of trying to make sure they force ways on other people. I believe that development is an individual case. When you go to school, different people understand from different angles, but you don't force others to move at your own pace. You move at your own pace and try to catch up with others. Now, this woman has come up and tell us that it is justified for you to carry a car, walk in the town, in the middle of the town, move through farms and destroy things. It is that the Westerners are not intelligent enough to have talked about ranching and farms for these cows, and they move them from one place to the other. I was coming from the other way from a trip the other day. I met almost 4 trailers on the way They were all carrying cows. If you look at these trailers, you will feel that they are homes. They're very neat, very nice, and the cows are happy. I must say they are happy moving from one place to the other the way they were moved. But this woman is coming out to tell us that you have to do it the crude way. At first, I want to ask this woman, is she a mother? If she's a mother, then has she ever lost somebody to violence? And then was she forced into her marriage, or was she forced into what she's doing? Let us see these things in a right direction. You're free to accept any honor that is given to you or whatever, but let us preach the truth. Let us say the truth. What this thing is showing us is that anybody can come up in Nigeria and take up any stand he wants and then buy people to help him or her do that, which is very funny. Nigeria should be talking about how to develop. If these cows end up eating up all the crops that has been planted, now what will we human beings eat? Meat can never sustain us. In life, there is different ways of life. It is we have to have a symbiotic relationship. That is what we were taught when we were little, that all these bacteria, have a symbiotic relationship with human beings who are their host. So they live and allow you to live. But in this case, we are now saying you live and we die. Please, madam, I'm making an appeal to you. First, you are free to accept whatever you want to accept. I'm not against you taking your honor or the attention you are seeking. But I am trying to tell you, I'm trying to appeal to you. As a mother, look into what you are going to say and what you are going to do. Does shedding of blood good and stopping of crops, farmers from working, is it good? Think over it and tell us, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That one is a passionate plea from Chuma. Yes, it's all interesting. Every day we see and hear very, very strange and interesting stories coming out from that part of the country. We're going ahead, no time again. There's also this situation, a video that went viral during the week. Somebody's pouring,
no, I want to buy, but
something called Sniper. Sniper, I think, is a chemical content, and they were putting it on an item being sold. Stockfish that was being sold. Somebody was pouring this chemical on it to sell. Now, why this video is of interest to us here in Schengen Story Media News Round is because we hear of every day of Nigerians dying, people falling sick, the health deteriorating. And when we see this kind of thing, it is good to bring it to the light of our people also in diaspora to warn their families on what they buy and what they eat, what they put into their body. Now, how can an item that is proven to be very, very toxic be poured into fish, stockfish that will be ate? And it is strange when we see this. Talking of human health. Maziazu, I know you also saw that video also. The woman pouring, somebody pouring a chemical on stockfish that is being sold. Maziazu, as a family man and somebody that has interest in such issues, what will you say? This is not nice at all. Go ahead. Maziazu, you did to okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite unfortunate, obviously, that Nigeria of today, we still don't have a proper health and safety regulatory system and environmental protection regulatory systems. In those days, I know those of us who have been reading historic contents, I know that in the 60s and the 70s, they used to have market market inspectors.
Exactly.
We used to have sanitary inspectors. We used to have environmental inspectors. These people are employed by local government authorities and the state health authorities to visit all public spaces or visit all public utility places such as markets, such as schools, such as health centers, and ensure that every aspect of things that are done in those places are in line with the health protocols, are in line with environmental protocols, are in line with public health protocols. But politics has derailed a lot of things. Sometimes we blame the military, but the politicians in democracy have also failed completely and woefully beyond the military rule. I remember the days of late Idi Agbon when you used to have man no war. People were disciplined to be in line, to queue and take a turn for everything at the bus stop, at the banks, at the offices. And then you look at this issue of snipers in foods. People are taking undue advantage of the gullibility of many poor Nigerians. And the vulnerability of many of them leads to their own deaths. Because these guys are putting these mixed chemicals on those final produce, such as the stockfish, such as vegetables, in order to keep them unnecessarily fresh, like they said, and sometimes to increase the volume of that item. Because when you put that on the stockfish, it helps to rise the stockfish looks as if it's in a very healthy quality. And then, but you didn't know that something has just been spread on it to just make it look, a bit fresh and healthy. And it's only when you get home and you take a taste of that. I remember there was a story of a family that died. Almost the whole family died after eating is it dinner of rice or whatever, and they all died after the food. And these are sort of things. I mean, if the country takes a strong responsibility by ensuring that they create a honest and dedicated health inspectors, environmental inspectors, who do not go there to make money for themselves, but go there to protect the lives and the well-being of the citizens by ensuring that everything that is sold in the market are within the protective condition of human consumption and health. Then we will have less of this. You cannot, if there is an inspector in the market, you see a trader using a tube to spray things on what he's selling. You don't need to put this on the video. You arrest the person straight away, confiscate the whole items, and then show an example of what needs to be done. And others will see they will see the action that has been taken and be reprimanded from doing same thing. And then you do it on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. Do it consistently. Don't just do one day and then you disappear for a few months, or you come, you get a bribe from the individual, 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira, you just tell him continue what you are doing, and then you move away, you go and say there's nothing happened, everywhere is good, things are going well. No. And this is one thing the government need to work. And then this is the essence why we have local governments. These markets are within the local government governance jurisdiction. Every market of such nature should be supervised by local government inspection or inspectorate department that takes responsibility of ensuring that whatever is sold in the market is good for human consumption and is well protected. People buy it and there is no complaint. And if there is anyone, you take a drastic action to find out what happened and deal with it reasonably and responsibly. But in our Nigerian context, people, as a result of poverty, as a result of want for needs, and the negligence of human life, make it very, very prevalent for traders to I remember in those days when people were adding gari to egusi to make egusi look more bunchy. People people use well-grounded gari and then mix it with a few pounds of egusi, and then it becomes bunchy. And I remember when people were also mixing sand with rice. You know,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes. Ebomuche, thank you very much, Maziazu. We don't have much time, but we need to go through all the topics. Chuma, what do you have to say? I know you also have to be in an engagement soon. So to round up from your side, what do you say on this this situation of polluting food, poisoning people? It's a practice we see daily in Africa, in Nigeria. Food, things are not hygienically presented. People, they do anyhow, and these are food that goes into their health, into their body. What will you say of this, Chuma?
It is still the same thing I was saying before, that our leaders should do their necessary work, the works they are supposed to do. When you keep the market clean and make the markets good and nice, most of these things wouldn't be there. There will be checks and balances. First, this sniper, what is it? Sniper is a DDVP, just a phosphate that has been produced. It's a Swiss Nigerian chemical company that produced this sniper. It is an insecticide. They use it to kill insects. Normally, it comes in a big gallon where people who do fumigations use these things to fumigate areas where there are ants and all those things. Now, they looked at it and they found out that when people who are into fumigations, you cannot pay them. You can still get a little portion of it and just put by the corners of your house and kill these insects, and then while you wait for them to come. So they went as far as trying to start producing the little ones for smaller sizes. So when this thing came out, you find out that 100 milliliter, of our sniper goes for between 200 naira to 300 naira, while equivalent of a competitor insecticide in Nigeria goes for 750. So it's cheaper for them to buy sniper than this. And then when they see it is an insecticide, they feel that when you put it in the food, it only kills the insect and protects, preserves your food for you, not knowing that it also goes into the food. And when it goes into the food, for those who are good in in chemistry and knows all this very well, you know that certain chemicals are not good for human consumptions. Not when to talk about a phosphate, it goes into you, it battles with your respiratory organs, and then it chokes you off. So why are we doing this? Why are people doing this? We need to get market inspectors. But first of all, the Nigerian Standard Organization of Nigeria should go to this Nigerian Swiss chemical company and stop the production of these snipers on small bottles. Then do a sweep in the market and make sure you take away all these. Most of these people that has been televised, maybe has been videoed to show they are doing this. And you go to them, seize all these things, destroy them. In the first place, everybody that is doing all these things, you should think about it. You are a human being. What you cannot eat, don't give it to others. And what you don't understand, the components, ask somebody who knows better than you. If you want to preserve your food, look for something else to use. I know of some local, we all know of some local ways of preserving food. Some use pepper, dry pepper, to preserve food and send these things out of it. Another means, keep the place you're storing your food clean, and don't let it to be humid. Because when it's humid, it soaks up the whole thing. It starts getting muco and spoils. This sniper is a very serious issue that the government should look into. Please, let us stop wasting lives. Many families have died. We have even seen some people who call them who are housemaids who were instigated to put snipers in the foot of their landlord. It's just because these things are cheaper to be bought. Snipers are not, they are not for preservation of edible materials, food items. You don't use sniper to do this. Instead, please go out and ask how. If you cannot do this, keep your house clean. We know that it kills insects. When you keep your house clean, then you can apply them far from where your foods are, the food items are. Think about others. Think about the families that cry every day when they lose lost ones. We hear of people dying, sudden deaths, and what, and it's been attributed to different things that are not there. Please, let us find out that it is not supposed to be like that. Save life. Let this Nigerian Sun Organization, Standard Organization of Nigeria, and then NAFDAC, and all these, please save lives. We know you are working and you're doing a great work, but go around and stop this reproduction. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Chuma is always bringing his own emotional pleas. Saving life. Yes, to round up today's Schengen story news round, talking of saving life, here in Italy again, a part of Europe, Italy, a corner in Italy called Vicenza. That's a region. We had a situation on Friday where an Italian man killed his Nigerian wife. It's a sad story because we've been having this happen time and time again. And most times the media, the Italian media, the European media does not give much voice to it because they feel these are just foreigners and they can do anything. And most times also they change the storyline even when it happens and try to put the blame on the victim. So a lady called Amazie was killed by the husband because she said she was no more interested in the marriage. She wanted a divorce. And the man shot her in her chest, 4 shots to her chest, right in front of her colleagues on the day of work, in the morning when they came to work. So I want this to be said out loud. We've had this situation many times, like I said, and nobody really talks about it. Not even the Nigerian leaders, the community leaders. Nobody just addresses it. It phases out, and it's like nothing happened. Now we're talking of taking a human life, somebody that is somebody's sister, somebody's daughter, somebody's nephew, and all that. And we have this situation. Maziazu, let's cap it up. Let's begin to round up. What will you say about this? This is what we find ourselves in as foreigners in a strange land and being treated anyhow because we are termed foreigners. Maziazu, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much for bringing this to light. This is rather very unfortunate and a very sad moment for many of us in the diaspora. I obviously would expect that the Nigerian communities across many of the countries in Europe, including here in the UK, should be paying very, very close attention to such situations of this nature in the countries where we are residents with or in our various host countries. Because if we cannot be our fellow brethren's keepers, and then somehow, someday, you could be a victim of this situation if an action is not taken to protect the interests and the life and the rights of many Nigerians who live across many of these countries. My condolences goes to the family of the young lady that was shot dead because of matrimonial differences and disconnection. And obviously, we also want to advise that those of our people who get married to white or citizens of many of the European countries should be able to be very conscious and be very aware of the emotional condition, the psychological condition, and the manner in which those people of those country behave or react to issues that affect their emotional and psychological well-being, in order not to trigger such actions like this frequently within the community. Because when you understand how people behave, the behavioral attitude or the behavioral condition of certain cultures and certain nationalities, you'll be able to know how to deal with certain issues. And if you have challenges on how to deal with such issues with your Italian husband or German husband or French husband or wife or the other, you consult with people who can help you manage the situation, advise you, counsel you on how to go about it to avoid a sudden fatality in between the relationship. And because most of these are Nigerians in European countries do not have enough Nigerians or Africans who practice family laws, who practice family counseling centers in like Italy or France or Germany. Unlike here in the UK, it's not all that prevalent here in the UK because there are so many Nigerian solicitor firms, Nigerian family law counseling firms that people can go to, and people are like a close-knitted, mostly here in the UK. So people belong to so many organizations that give them right to share their views with other people. Either they get a positive or negative advice, but at least they share their stories with people who kind of help them out. But in Europe, it's difficult because there's no availability of this community engagement. There are people who live in Italy that have not been to any Nigerian community meeting, does not engage with the right Nigerian community organizations. And as such, when they want to take actions, they do not share their stories with people. They take a unilateral action that then becomes detrimental to their well-being and to their safety. And because
thank you, Mazi. I want to appreciate you. You speak well because you're an officer with the NIDO organization that caters for Nigerians in Europe. So you understand what you're saying. Thank you very much. Chuma, what will you say on this little issue? It's happening all around Europe. I also know it happened some time ago in France. So how do you see a situation where two couples fall out? One is killed, most times the Nigerian, the African, and the issues are not well addressed. The media, the European media doesn't talk much about it. They will probably just give a one-time voice and it fizzles out. What will you say, Chuma?
This is where Schengen media comes to play. We are here to give out the voice to the voiceless of Africans here. We came in here, we are living by their laws and we are following their laws the way they say we should. I don't see why we should be killed this way. Rita Amenze, or Amanze, I believe that was what the name is. She's a 31-year-old lady, just an upcoming lady, still very promising, has a lot to offer the world. But the husband, Peliza, is 61 years old. There's a gap of 30 years in between. That can tell you maybe this girl was very caring to the man and the man was abusive to her or something else. So, but she found out that she cannot be in slavery all her life. She wants to carry on. And then she wants to look for divorce. First, we can actually understand that we were taught about divorce by the Western world. Because in our place, we all know that once you're married, you're not going back to your parents' house. If things are not working as expected, people gather together to come up and judge this and make the cases, make peace. so that people can continue to live in harmony, because we believe it's marriage forever. But here they told us that there's no need suffering. If it's not working for you, it's not working, you move. So why should it be when you say it's not working for you, you want to move, and the other party says you are not going anywhere, you die, which means you have no right. Now we talk about human rights, and if they still preach human rights to us, why are they not actually fronting what is happening now? This young girl was, killed at her prime. The families are crying. We are crying. Every Nigerian, every African, every person in this world that values life is crying. So what are they going to do about it? Why did the man kill her? If you know you are missing this girl, or that you don't want to lose this girl, you should have at least approached her and then have a counseling with her, sort things out. We believe in dialogue. Dialogue solves situation and not violence. Please,
thank you very much.
Killing our people.
We believe in dialogue. Dialogue solves situation. We will be putting our voice loud, and we will make sure these kind of things don't go without some effort. So I trust that Maziazu's team, the NAIDO organization, will also look into this and see how they can come in. She's a Nigerian, like the identity card says, and she's our sister, and she's human. Apart from all that, she's a human being that deserves to live. Now she has been taken off from the surface of the earth. So it's a pathetic one. We send our condolence to the family. Schengen Story Media says we are our condolence to that family, hoping that justice will be done. On this note, we want to thank my coordinators all around Europe, Chuma Bomuche from France. Thank you very much for adding your voice to this morning news roundup. Also, Godson Azu from the UK. Godson Azu, thank you. Intelligent speeches and insight you give. Also, we're thanking Hanwa Yusuf. Hanwa Yusuf is the lady that gave the news headline. Hanwa Yusuf from Nigeria. She's our coordinator in Abuja, Nigeria, and also our newscaster. So on this note, I say thank you all. Have a beautiful new week, and see you same time next week, Monday. News Roundup, Schengen Story Media. Ciao.
Ciao. Thank you very much. See you next week.
Thank you very much. See you.
Thank you.